Hello everyone, Ted the Old Star Wars Nerd here. I hope you're doing well, and I want to thank you for joining me tonight as we go over some Star Wars headlines. Well, actually, this one's just going to be one headline, because as I was getting ready for the news tonight, I saw this article, and I read a little bit more into it than I usually do when I'm getting ready to do the news, and I think this one deserves a video all on its own, because I want to read the whole article and talk about it. So, what I have here is an article from CBR.com. Andrew Gladman posted this one 14 hours ago, supposedly. So, this is Star Wars, how legends predicted Luke Skywalker's Last Jedi storyline. Okay. So, I kind of glanced through this, and it looked like it was a long article, but I really wanted to go over it and see if any of it comes true, because I'm going to be doing these comics here soon. So, let's read the article. Long before anyone could have dreamt of an Episode 7, since before Jar Jar Binks had even graced the big screen, the Star Wars franchise started expanding its tales of galactic conflict into the realms of comics and other media. While much of the expanded universe that was developed prior to Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm is no longer considered canon, its influence can still be felt. Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi was a heaping pile of crap. Was particularly evocative of at least one of the tales now classified as legends. A young woman destined to become a powerful Jedi travels to a remote planet to meet a legendary Jedi Master who no longer feels the Force but becomes her reluctant teacher. The Jedi is redeemed, confronts a former ally, and becomes one with the Force upon his death. This probably sounds familiar to many Star Wars fans as the central plot of The Last Jedi, involving Rey and Luke Skywalker. But for readers of Tales of the Jedi comics, this was the story Kevin J. Anderson's and Chris Gossett's 1998 Redemption miniseries. So, Redemption was the final storyline in the Tales of the Jedi comic series. This series centered on two young Jedi of the Old Republic, Ulic Qel-Droma and Exar Kun, who fell to the dark side, waged war, and were defeated by their former Jedi allies. The conflict leaves Ulic a broken man. Blinded by rage, he had slain his own brother only to then have his connection to the Force permanently severed by his former lover, Nomi Sunrider. 10 years later, in Redemption, Ulic has lost hope of regaining his Jedi powers. He settles on the remote world of Renvar, intending to live out his remaining days alone amongst the ancient ruins. Sounding familiar? Ulic's fall from grace may have been darker than Luke Skywalker's, and his separation from the Force not self-imposed, but the image of a grizzled and hopeless Jedi blinded to the Force and settled on a remote world sets the premise for the final stories of both characters. It's what happens next, though, that really cements the similarity. So that's Ulic right there, talking about the Force has abandoned him, and that's his lightsaber. Vima Sunrider, daughter of Nomi, is desperate to train as a Jedi. Her mother will not allow it, and so Vima seeks out the exiled Ulic to demand he train her. Rey, by contrast, has the support of her allies when she sets off in search of Luke Skywalker, but both Rey and Vima are initially turned away by their would-be teachers. Both persevere in following the Jedi through unforgiving conditions. Both are drawn to these Jedi because of the legends surrounding them. And both eventually convince the Jedi to train them through connections to their past, and the daughter of his former lover, Ulic, sees a chance at redemption, while R2-D2 replays Leia's old hologram, which persuades Luke to train the girl Leia has sent. Ultimately, both Luke and Ulic must confront scorned former allies, the fallen Ben Solo in Luke's case, and the Cathar Jedi Silvar in Ulic's, and both complete their own path to redemption at this moment, allowing them to become one with the Force upon their deaths. In both instances, the moment signals a sense of spiritual fulfillment. It is difficult to say whether Rian Johnson was directly inspired by Redemption when writing The Last Jedi. If so, it has never been mentioned in any interview with the director. Looking at the similarities, though, it seems likely the Legends material had some influence on the film. Perhaps the connection came from elsewhere. An exiled Luke training a young woman, apparently featured in George Lucas's original sequel trilogy plans. Perhaps it was Lucas himself who drew inspiration from the comic storyline. I don't get that. Why would you say that? Perhaps it was Lucas who drew inspiration from the comic storyline? For what? I don't know. Anyway, does the similar does the similarity mean this particular legend story is already doomed to be purged from the new canon? Maybe. But it could also be read as deliberate narrative mirroring destiny repeating itself as master teaches apprentice and apprentice teaches master. Ulic was, after all, designed in the mold of Luke, albeit with less luck in resisting the dark side. Perhaps the characters' stories are strengthened in their echoing of one another. As Lucas himself once said of his saga, it's like poetry, it rhymes. Okay. Well, that's neat. That's really cool. I haven't got to that comic yet, so I don't know. I'll find out soon because it's coming. It's coming soon, I think. But that's kind of, if that's true, that's a heck of a coincidence, huh? What do you think? Rian Johnson might have read this, or somebody could have brought it up to him. I know that when they were doing The Rise of Skywalker, they were referring back to some Legends books. I can't remember the exact one right off the top of my head. Ryan Kennel at RK Outpost did a couple videos where he showed a screenshot of them, of not Rian Johnson, maybe it was JJ and all them talking, and the book is on the table while they're discussing the movies. But anyway, wow, that's pretty good. Somebody found that and did an article on it and brought that to our attention. That's awesome. That's just awesome. So yeah. Of course, they're mining the old Legends materials for things to do. So, yeah, I wouldn't doubt if they actually saw this and said, hey, let's take some of that. I mean, look what they took from the Heir to the Empire series for bringing back Palpatine. So, but anyway. But there we go on that. I thought that was an interesting article. I wanted to read the whole thing and go over it completely. So, what do you think about that? I think it's pretty coincidental, huh? I don't know. You can't say one way or the other, but if I ever met Rian Johnson, I might ask him about it. That'll never happen, but, you know, I can always dream. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I am Ted, the old Star Wars nerd. Come back again soon and let's read some more stuff. Leave a comment below. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications, okay? You take care and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.